So since the other side is obsessed with nailing self-love into your head, they wanted me to make this video talking yet again about how you are treating yourself. Number one, they are concerned about subconscious dialogue. What are you saying to yourself throughout the day as you are living your life, running errands, doing your job, etc.? What is the dialogue that you are having with yourself, and is it friendly? If you are not being kind to yourself, you are going to emotionally respond to that dialogue in a negative way, and you could be having a low vibration throughout the day and not knowing why. So I want you guys to pay really, really close attention to some of the things that you are saying to yourself throughout the day, because you could be really dragging yourself down unnecessarily. And that's when you should catch yourself and turn it into a compliment. Build yourself up, compliment yourself, make yourself feel better, and give yourself credit where credit is due. Another thing they're worried about is judgment. They are concerned about us putting ourselves in front of the review board and constantly judging ourselves, forming opinions about ourselves that are negative, holding ourselves up to a too high standard, and just being too critical of ourselves, because we're not made of stone, so we're sensitive to that. So make sure you're being delicate with yourself, because you're not made of stone. Another thing that they're really worried about is shame. Are you casting shame at yourself throughout the day? And there are situations where people could live in a perpetual state of shame, where it just gets integrated in their belief system, where they're just ashamed of themselves, and that's just the way they are. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm not happy with where I am. Every time I look in the mirror, I see a loser. I'm ashamed of myself. So that could go on for years. And this is where you need to bust out a journal and kind of think about what's going to help this state of mind. What's going to pull me out of this? What is it going to take for me not to be ashamed of myself anymore? So pay really close attention to that as well. Another thing that the other side wants to warn us against is they don't like us comparing ourselves to other people. If you are going to compare yourself, compare your present self to your past self, and look at how far you've come. Give yourself a pat on the back for that instead, but don't compare yourself to other people. It's not fair. Another thing is jealousy. They don't want you to be in this state of mind, because it's also the poor me victim mentality. Is why do they have that and I don't, and etc., etc. Now, sometimes jealousy can manifest because the universe takes your order. If you're like, I want that, the universe can take your order, but they would also rather you manifest via fantasizing. More positive energy, since jealousy is negative. But yeah, that whole jealousy is just, yeah. Again, you're comparing yourself, so please don't. We're all here to walk our own path, and there's, reasons why certain things happen. So just know that and be secure in that fact. Accomplishments. This is a really big deal, and this is a huge area where we judge ourselves, right? What did you get done today? Did you get everything done on your to-do list, or nothing done on your to-do list? And the other side came through the other day and they said, Christine, we know you just finished readings for the day and you want to start your dance party with Toonses, and blast your music, but we're going to need you instead to make a couple YouTube videos. And they said, just imagine how great you're going to feel about yourself after you're done. Imagine what an amazing sense of accomplishment you're going to have afterwards. You're going to feel really proud. And I knew they were right. So they sold me on that fantastic feeling I would have. So I got it done, right? So that's what they said, is they're like, okay, accomplishments. When you get everything done on your to-do list, you don't become ashamed of yourself, right? Oh, I didn't get anything done today. I'm a loser. I'm ashamed of myself. Damn, what a waste of, time, whatever. I would be like ahead of the ball game if I had, used this time to do something else, blah, 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 blah. So the other side knows how to talk to me, man. They know how to sell me. So, and it was, all in an effort to make things smoother for me. And it worked. They want us to be proud of ourselves, and they want us to give credit where credit is due, where we're achieving our goals, and then giving ourselves pats on the back, rewards, whatever. If I achieve this goal, I get to have this, right? Rewards. The flip side of that is they want to make sure that we're not running ourselves ragged, because as soon as you tip the scales where you are doing too much and you're not taking care of yourself and you're like tired and whatever, that's when you got to take a break. So the other side also, aren't a bunch of slave drivers. So make sure you're finding that nice balance between self-care and then also, getting the stuff done that you have to get done. Take a break if you need to. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, diet, exercise, etc. Right? Another thing that they have absolutely no problem with is singlehood. We have a problem with it, but they don't. We think we're losers or old maids, spinsters, whatever, if we're single. That's not the way they view us. They view singlehood as an opportunity to, take that class you wanted to take that seminar you wanted to take, whatever. If you're single, maybe you have more time on your hands, maybe you don't, whatever, maybe you're busy no matter what, but they see singlehood as an opportunity for soul's growth and learning. So please don't judge yourself for being single, because your angels really don't. Another thing is social pressure. They worry about, advertisements telling you that you need to be perfect, store windows telling you that you need to be perfect, social media where everybody's life just looks wonderful and amazing, and then you compare your life to their life and you feel like a loser. Please don't, because social media is not representative of real life. It's just everyone putting their best foot forward. So, and you never know what's going on behind the scenes. So yeah, perfectionism and trying to hold yourself to impossible standards is just a downward spiral. So try to protect yourself from that and social pressure is always going to be there, but just try to put it in its place, Don't let it rule your life. Another thing is that, doors are going to slam in your face. Lovers are going to reject you. The world isn't always going to be so kind to you. And sometimes when the world rejects you, you in turn reject yourself. And then you end up living in this rejection energy, and it can go on for weeks, months, years, etc. Pay really close attention to this, because if you're living in the past as opposed to focusing on a bright future, this just can destroy your soul. So be very, very careful. This is an energy that you don't want to live in, day out. You want to try to let go of the past and heal from it and move on. And know that, if a door slams in your face, a lot of times it's to lead you to the right door. So it becomes a blessing. So, sometimes we think it's a bad thing if we lose a job opportunity, but if it guides you towards your life purpose, well, that wasn't necessarily a bad thing now, was it? Now, the worst that I've seen is actually self-hate, because you are a spark of the divine. So if you hate yourself, you actually hate part of the divine, and that's how you end up attracting darkness to yourself. The law of attraction kicks in, and then you end up attracting darkness to yourself. This is the most severe situation that I've seen, is self-hate. When someone just completely hates themselves. It's not even low self-esteem, lack of self-love. They just hate themselves. And this is really, really, this is just like a 4-alarm fire for the other side. This is where you need to look at counseling and a support group, daily affirmations, whatever you need to do to try to pull yourself out of the state of mind. Please do it, because this is just the dark completely taking you over. So be really careful there, because like I said, the law of attraction can be your best friend or worst enemy, and you don't need the law of attraction pulling you down even further if you're really in pain and feeling lost and struggling. Energetically, for a soul, this is just not where you want to be. So do whatever you have to do to try to get some help, for sure. Another thing is regret. Are you swimming in a sea of regret where you're looking backwards and you just can't let go of the past? And, if you made a mistake, you have to forgive yourself and move on, because you are an imperfect mortal and mistakes just happen. But it's not good for your soul to keep reliving the past over and over again in your head. If I do it, the other side will come through and say, you can't change the past. What did you learn from it? Because they're all about soul's growth. So they're going to want to learn about, they're going to want to know about the lessons that you learned from this experience, as opposed to just dwelling in the past and trying to figure out how you can change something that you just can't change. So they want you to, focus on the lessons that you learned and focus on the good that came out of that. Another thing that's really important is fun. The importance of fun and play and catering to your inner child. Having fun often takes a lot of planning and money and effort and time. Sometimes it involves imposing on other people. Hey, can you watch my cat or my dog while I'm gone? Hopefully you hook them up if they need you, sometime, for a favor. But this is all about you really putting effort into having fun and carving that time out between that work-life balance, right? Making sure you are giving yourself some playtime as well and catering to your inner child. Another thing the other side wanted me to bring up is just how are we treating ourselves in just little ways. Like if you're waiting for a table at a restaurant with your spouse, go sit at the bar and have a drink while you're waiting. You don't have to stand there twiddling your thumbs. Go sit down, take a load off, have a drink at the bar, relax, chat up the bartender, chat up each other, whatever. But just, how are you treating yourself while you're waiting for a table? How are you treating yourself while you're on an airplane? Do you have healthy snacks? Are you reading magazines? Did you bring your, favorite book? Did you bring your journal so you can write in your journal? Did you, bring your computer so you can watch your favorite movies? Whatever. It requires efforts and planning ahead, but again, just little ways for how you're treating yourself. And another thing I noticed is that if you get used to treating yourself really well, you notice when others don't treat you well. You become a little more sensitive to it when other people don't treat you well. And you're like, hey, because you just get so used to being treated a certain way by yourself that when other people treat you poorly or disrespect you, you're like, hey, wait a minute. So, and it's a fantastic energy when you treat yourself well, because you fill up your gas tank and you give yourself what you need and you demonstrate that unconditional love for self, and then you're able to demonstrate that unconditional love for others because you have gas in your tank and all this life force energy and this high vibration to really go out there and make a difference in this world and help other people. So you see how this self-care becomes a win-win for everybody? Your spouse, your children, your friends, your family, your coworkers, everybody. Right? Everybody benefits from you treating yourself well. So, and maybe you're setting a good example for them as well, right? In treating yourself well. Maybe they're looking over at you sitting on the airplane like, I didn't bring anything, and he's got a whole smorgasbord of healthy snacks over there. Maybe I learned, next time I need to do that. See what I mean? So you're setting a good example for others as well. So this is why you are encouraged to be gentle with yourself, baby yourself, pamper yourself, and treat yourself like the valuable soul that you are. And in the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you.